If you want to run one of the best funnels for both converting and acquiring traffic, this is what I would recommend to you. So we'll start off with the lead acquisition here and actually acquiring this traffic. And we'll do so through two different kinds of ad campaigns. The first campaign has two different ad sets. And within these ad sets, there's one static ad and two static ad, right? So just two statics within each ad set. And then within those static ads, we test three different headlines and two different primary texts 2 times. Then for the ad campaign 2, we have one ad set, we have a creative ad, and then 3 headlines and 2 primary texts. Now, for the content, it's a little bit different, right? We have the long form content like YouTube videos and podcasts. We have X posts, and not just posting on X, but actually commenting and being social on X as well, because that's how you get real traction to your page. It's not by just posting a bunch, although that helps. It's by really just commenting on other people's posts to have them see what you post as well. And then obviously short form content too, Reels, TikToks, which aren't the best because they don't drive in the best leads, but Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts will help boost your views on your main long form stuff too, which directs traffic to your funnel. So I would recommend you post shorts as well. And outreach, you're going to want to test volume-based, value-based, and value-based. When I was first starting outreach, I did like the sweep the floor method. So it was literally just volume based. I shot out like maybe 100 DMs a day or more, no personalization, no nothing. And I got one client within like 5 months of doing that. So I wasted 4,000 or 5,000 leads just sending that stupid outreach message. You have to test what works best, and especially in what kind of market you're in, right? So you have to test between volume-based, value-based, and volume and value. Volume and value. Volume might be, holy crap, that's a lot of tongue twisters. Volume might be like sending 100 DMs a day, 70, 100 DMs a day plus. Value might be anywhere between 10 to 30, maybe 35. And then volume and value is probably that sweet spot between like 30 to 50, 60, right? It's still a lot, but it kind of has good personalization. You do some research with the person. You don't just like go shooting in the dark, spamming a bunch of copy and paste DMs. You have to find a happy medium, right? Now, I also didn't include referrals here because 99% of the time referrals will go straight to booking a call with you, potentially after an introduction being made between your friend or some kind of intermediary person introducing you to that potential client, right? And then we have a couple different paths here. The first one is from ad campaign 1, we could run a opt-in page to the basically to the landing page here, or we could do no opt-in page. So we could just literally skip that from either the campaign 1 or ad campaign 2 and run straight to the landing page with no opt-in. But an opt-in is sometimes good. You just have to test it. If you're running a VSL funnel, like I'll show you here in a couple of minutes, what you have to do essentially is basically just test what works best, right? Because some people opt-ins work best, some people no opt-ins work best. So if you're running a VSL funnel, you just have to test what works best, like A/B test, like which one's going to do better for you. There's no right answer. Sometimes opt-ins do better, sometimes they don't. You just have to kind of find that out for yourself. Okay. So after we do the outreach, the content, and also the ad campaigns, after we decide on skipping or running the opt-in page, what we want to do is direct traffic to this VSL landing page. So we have the call out, we have the offer statement, and the subheader if you want, and then the actual VSL itself, right? And then some other must-haves on this landing page might be something like the partner or client portfolio that you have, if you have any. For me, I've worked with people like Mitchell Cruz and Baby Stickley and Renzo Guevara and Raza Trades and Brandon Clark and all these big guys, Sam Millsap. So I would list those on my client portfolio because those are real valuable clients that people know, right? So of course you want to run that for yourself. Case studies, if you have student interviews, if you have screenshots, if you have testimonials, whatever you can leverage to create sell within that person's mind, to create sales within that person's mind, is going to help you tremendously because trust is built through other people being in other people's positions, right? So if other people have gone through your program or they've used your help or they've used your funnel or they've used whatever you're selling to them, new prospects will inherently trust you more because they see that other people trust you and they got results, right? So if you have enough results, leverage them. Testimonials, same thing. And then an about section or a what you do section. Okay, this is also important. It's not a total must-have, especially if you're super well known in the space. But even if you are well known, it's still important to have, unless all your traffic is coming from organic, you're not running any ads, so people know you exactly for who you are and what you do. If you want to kind of get rid of some, I guess, roadblocks in terms of like the funnel being super long, you can get rid of this if people really know you. If they don't know you, if you're getting cold traffic mainly, or like 70% cold traffic or more, I would 100% recommend doing an about you section within your funnel, within this VSL funnel, so people actually know like who they're going to work with. And then have at least 3 CTAs. I have 3 to 6. 6 is sometimes too much for some people, especially if it's like a small little VSL funnel. If it's like 2 sections, like the VSL, and then just like an about you section with no testimonials, no nothing, that like 6 is a lot. So it just depends on what you do, right? But I'd recommend probably 3. Have 1 up top, have 1 under the VSL, and then on the last section, run that as well, like the bottom of the page. But if you have more, add more buttons, call to actions, excuse me. And FAQs, this is also super important. Some people just tend to neglect this, but like people have questions. So position yourself in other people's shoes, right? If they're looking at your funnel, if they're looking at your VSL funnel, what questions are they going to have? I want you to like poll and question your audience in your content, on your stories, whatever it is, and ask people like, what are some common questions or concerns you have for me? And list those, and list the answers that you get on those questions as well onto the funnel, because your target ICP being in your content and also in your ads, if your ads are attracting the right kinds of people, are going to be asking you a set amount of questions. And those people are your target audience, so leverage those questions and those answers you've gotten from polling, from questioning them, to use in your funnel, because it'll help you even more. And then some nice to have sections. You want to address the market problem. What solution does your service or your product solve for the market problem right now? Your story. Where did you come from? How did you get to this point? Qualifications. Who is or is not qualified to work with you? A guarantee, right? Do you have if you don't get X result in X amount of time frame after doing X amount of work, maybe you get $1,000 and your money back, right? Just list that guarantee, preferably in the headline on top of the VSL as well, because that'll just help it stand out. Pricing, only list pricing if it's mid or low ticket. I see a lot of people kind of messing up conversions by running a huge, either a high mid ticket or a high mid ticket or even a high ticket offer price point on their funnel itself. You don't want to do that. The whole point is to not tell them the price until the end of the call, or even over DMs if you just do DM setting or closing or whatever it is. But if you do sales calls, do not tell them until the end of the call. And if you're just listing off the price in the funnel, there's no point for a call with you, because they're already dissuaded because they're overwhelmed by the kind of price that you offer. They don't even know what you have to offer yet. So you have to hop on a call, audit what they're doing, see how you can help them, right? That's your excuse for not telling them the price yet. Is like, well, we have a bunch of different packages, right? Our packages range from $50 to $5,000, right? And I don't know what works for you, so I can't just list off a price because I don't know what works for you. So tell them that, and then tell them the price at the end of the call. Don't list it on the funnel, because I've seen some people listing off $1,000, which is borderline okay, to like $1,800 to $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 packages on funnels. You will get no sales doing that, I promise you. So please, for the love of God, just list the price at the end of the call, after the customer, the client, the prospect understands exactly what you are selling, the value they can provide to them. And lastly, just offer and value stacking as well. Which brings us to the call booked page. After the prospect has booked a call with you and they are redirected, it should take them at least to a call booked page. Here you're going to have a couple different things, and the layout looks something like this, right? You have the confirmation statement that you booked the call, congratulations. You have the watch video below instruction with the call booked video. And here you could also upsell. If you do, if this is like a webinar opt-in, for example, what you could do is just like, before for your webinar, complete this one last step or whatever it is, and then you could tell them to watch this and then mention the upsell in here as well and direct them to pay even more if they want to get more value from you. I've seen that being done pretty much a lot, and that runs pretty well, that webinar funnel. But if this is just like a call booked page for a VSL with no upsell, again, just kind of like confirmation statement, instruction, video, and then confirmation, reminder basically to inform them to confirm the email in their inbox that they got to their calendar, because that meeting with you probably isn't booked yet. So it's important that they book that out in their calendar to actually hop on that meeting and get reminded. I remember so many times where I hopped on calls with prospects and it was just me on the call. Like, they didn't even join the call because they forgot or this, that, whatever. I'll talk about some reminders in a second, which will help them actually hop on the call. But if it's not confirmed on their calendar and you're not telling them to do that, like, there's a pretty high probability they're not going to hop on the call. They're going to forget about the call. So make sure you tell them to confirm that call that you have with them in their calendar that they receive in their email inbox. Then just including the next steps you have and then a call to action, right? If you do an upsell here, this would be a good point. If not, just tell them you'll see them on a call after they've completed all these steps. And then after the call booked page, it takes them to, you're going to run different reminder sequences to basically just remind them that your call is going to come up. And we'll do this with email sequences and also text sequences as well. For the email sequence, you want a call confirmation email. When they actually book the call with you directly, they get a call confirmation. I would say probably like 5 minutes after, because sometimes if it sends out too quick, they might miss it. So just send them the email like 3, 5, 7 minutes after they book the email, the call with you. This will just kind of help them actually see it after they book the call. And then the 24-hour reminder email right before the call, 8 hours and 1 hour. Then we have the text sequence, call confirmation text, same kind of thing here. You could probably do this one like right when they book a call. I've seen this work better, actually, like when they book a call directly. But email, I would probably wait a couple minutes, just different formats. It just depends on, you honestly have to test it. Like for me, this is what works best, sending this directly and sending this after a couple minutes, but for you, it might be a little bit different. So then after the confirmation text, you're going to send them an introduction selfie video, kind of telling them like what they can expect, how you can help them. I'm sure you've seen Charlie Morgan. He does this sometimes as well. He sends like a native video with an SMS or with an Instagram, and he kind of tells you to do these things or reminds you to do something or gives you some updates or more free value, whatever it is. This kind of just helps establish some authenticity and some relatability to your target audience, to your prospect you booked a call with. So it's not necessary, but I would, if you can do it, it definitely won't hurt you at all. And then have a reminder video with pre-framing material about like what they should expect and what you should expect as well. And then a text and call 1 hour before the call if they already haven't called you or you haven't called them yet. Texting especially, calling, it will help them, but if they're just scared to hop on calls, especially if they're younger kids with a lot of money, I probably wouldn't call them because they're probably not going to pick up the call. But if you, if your target ICP is like normal average people, middle class, even higher class, families or people with decent amounts of money, they're not scared to hop on calls. So you could call and text them like an hour before the call. And this will kind of help you convert people more so onto the call they actually run. And then you're going to have a couple different things here. And then I would have a discovery call, but ultimately, like, I don't want to bombard them with like 2 different calls here, a discovery call and a sales call. So I kind of include everything within the sales call itself, which is the discovery call. It is the sales call. It is the value proposition. It's everything to them. It's qualification. It's literally everything in one call. 30 minutes to an hour, run down, who you are, what you do, ask them questions, and just kind of like keep asking them to see where they are and what kind of help they're looking for, this, that, whatever. And then at the end of it, after you understand like exactly what they're looking for and how you can help them, then you make your pitch, right? Then you make that close. And then after the close, 1, 2 to 12 hours later, send them the contract and be getting the onboarding call after that. And if you are a funnel operator, meaning you're somebody who does growth operating or info scaling, and you just want to build out funnels to upsell people growth operating, which is what I've been doing, and it works like a charm because you're basically providing people free value up front, on DMs, on content, whatever it is, free funnel audits, free funnel build outs. Once they kind of trust that you can build out good funnels for them, then they will actually just be a lot more likely to actually convert to that growth operating backend service because they've seen that you can provide good quality value with the funnel that you built. So I would do funnel first, and then once you build the funnel, they like it, then upsell the growth operating after. Tell them you can take over everything on their backend for a rev share, for a profit share, emails, SMS, sales, setting, closing, funnels, like everything, content, ads, Jesus, ads. Like that's a perfect upsell because now you've built some trust, and especially if you have case studies to already leverage with that funnel that you've already built out, like people you've worked with, it's just an immediate sell. There's no reason why a client wouldn't want to close with you because you are trustworthy. So again, why funnel operating works so well is because you're literally providing them something tangible that they can use and implement for themselves right now, which builds trust. Then you can upsell after trust is built, because right now in this current economy, in this current market, trust is the new currency. Yeah, attention is very important, but trust is the new currency, really. And if you don't have trust with a prospect or client, well, you're not going to make that sale because everyone is scamming and making promises and offers they can't actually, deliver on. So if you're going to set yourself apart by delivering something tangible and quality first, without asking anything, and then upsell, you're going to see a lot more success. But if you're a coach or consultant or just someone who needs a funnel, this should be a good funnel model for you. If you are a growth operator who wants to get into funnel operating, this is also a good model for you as well, to sell a funnel first and then build out this VSL funnel for them, and then hop into your growth operating after. Hopefully that makes sense. If you did enjoy this, let me know. If you want to work with me, I'll list my Calendly down below. Sorry for slurring my speech. It is a difficult day right now, so I apologize. But yeah, if you're interested in working with me, whether it be a funnel or whether it be a full backend takeover of me doing your content, your ads, hiring out sales teams and training those people, doing your market positioning, your price offering, literally everything, offer testing, you name it, whatever it is, we can run it for you for a profit share or for a rev share. We'll kind of decide what works best for what you have right now. But if you just want a funnel, that's fine too. We can build those out. Again, I've worked with people like Sam Millsap and Ali Trades and Brendan Clark and Brandon Hendrickson, like some of the biggest names in the game. If you want to hop on a call, we can discuss that, and I'll show you some of the people I built it up for. Otherwise, drop me a like if you like this video, subscribe if you enjoyed it again and you want to see more of my videos, and I will see you in the next one. We'll chat soon. Peace.